Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are back again with a new video. In this video we are going to create a game, top-down car racing game in Python. So we'll start this by importing the required libraries. So firstly we'll import pygame. So pygame is used to create the game. And secondly random, where random is used to generate random positions for obstacles. And now we'll initialize the pygame. So this initializes all pygame modules. And now this sets the screen dimension, where height and width is set to 800 and 600 in pixel. So this defines the screen size in pixel. And pygame.setMode height and width, this creates the game window. And display.setCaption, this creates a caption to the window title. So basically this adds title to the window. And now we'll define the colors. So here all the colors are defined in RGB values. So we have used white, black, red, blue and green color, which are stored as RGB tuples. And now we'll load the car images for set up the player car. So here this line loads an image file named car.png into the game. So this image we have saved in our directory. And the image will be used to represent the player's car on the screen. So as the next line defines the width and height of the car in pixels. So here the car is 50 pixel wide and 100 pixel tall. And in the next line here, car X sets the car's starting position horizontally in the center of the screen, where width divided by 2, this finds the middle of the screen. By subtracting the car width by 2, ensure that the car is centered properly. And car Y places the car near the bottom of the screen at height -120, so it starts near the player's control area. And here car speed is equals to 5. This defines that the speed at which the car moves left or right. A higher value means faster movement, making the game more challenging. And now we'll create obstacle properties. So here obstacle width and obstacle height are set to each obstacle, means the enemy car is 50 pixel wide and 100 pixel tall. Here and the obstacle speed is 5, means the obstacle move downward at a speed of 5 pixel per frame. And in the next line here, this empty list will store multiple obstacles, means rectangles for the game. And now here we'll generate the obstacles. So this loop runs 3 times, meaning obstacles will be created at the start of the game. So in the next line here, each obstacle's X position is randomly chosen between 0 and the screen width minus the obstacle width. So this ensures obstacle appears somewhere within the road boundaries. And for the next line, each obstacle's Y position is randomly placed above the visible screen between -600 to -100. This means obstacle will start off screen and move down into view. And for the next line here, a rectangle object pygameRect is created for each obstacle using random X and Y coordinates. These obstacle rectangle is added to the list obstacles, so it can be drawn and moved later in the game loop. Now here this variable controls the game loop, so the game keeps running as long as the running time remains true. So in the next line, this creates a clock object to control the frame rate FPS. This ensures smooth movement and prevents the game from running too fast. So here in the while loop keeps running continuously as long as the running is true. This is where all game logic, drawing and event handling happens. So here this clears the screen at the beginning of each frame and prevents ghosting effect, means where old frame don't appear. So the screen is filled with the white background color. And now in this line pygame.event.get, this fetches all user input, for example key presses and mouse click etc. So the loop process each event one by one. And in this line this checks if the player closes the game window or not. And pygame.quit happens when the user clicks the close button on the game window. So here setting running means false exits the loop while stopping the game. So now we'll detect key presses for the car movement. So here this line checks which key are currently being pressed and returns a list of all keys where pressed keys are marked as true. And in the next line here, if left arrow key is pressed and car is not at the leftmost edge, so it moves the car left by subtracting car speed from car X. And here if right arrow key is pressed and car is not at the rightmost edge, so it moves the car right by adding car speed to car X. So here the car is prevented from moving beyond the screen using boundary conditions. As car X is greater than 0, which is used for left boundary, and car X is less than width minus car width is for the right boundary. And now we'll move the obstacles down on the screen. So for that, in this line each obstacle moves downwards by increasing its Y position. So this creates the illusion of objects coming towards the player. So here in this, if an obstacle moves off the screen, Y is greater than height, it means it is moved back to the top at a random Y position between -600 to -100, and it is given a random X position to make the game less predictable. So here Y random Y. So because it prevents all obstacles from reappearing at the same time and creates a more natural difficulty progression. And now we'll check the condition for collisions. So here this line creates a rectangular hitbox for the car. So this allows us to check for collision with obstacles. So here in this line colliderate checks if the car wrecked overlaps with any obstacles. So if a collision occurs, running is equals to false, the game stops the loop and gives a message game over. Now in this line here, this draws the car image at the current X and Y position. So for the next line, in this line creates and draws each obstacles as a red rectangle. So here why we use rectangles? So if you don't have obstacle images, rectangle work as simple placeholders. Later you can replace them with obstacle sprites, for example rock and other cars. And now here we'll update the display. So this line refreshes the screen showing the latest position of the car and obstacles. And here in the next line, this limits the game to 60 frames per second and prevents the game from running too fast on powerful computers. And at last, in the last line, this line closes the game window when the loop ends and ensures the Pygame shuts down properly. So now we'll check this game. So thanks for watching this video.